Next, the Assyrian Empire was the first military state in India. They emerged the militarily powerful because they were earliest to the use of iron technology effectively. So, what's the data we are getting here means Assyrian Empire got the military state. What is it? Army group separately, and they are all the very powerful at that time. And by that, what the information we are getting means they use the iron technology, earliest to use the iron technology. Who is that means Assyrian Empire. Okay, and food and agriculture. Agriculture was the main occupation of the Macedonians. They had a developed irrigation system for ensuring the availability of the water for agriculture and cultivated wheat, barley, onions, turnips, grapes, apples, dates. The domesticated cattle, sheep, goats, fish was part of their diet. So normal messages only. So the same, they were where all the water is available, they started to do the agriculture and started to yield more food related product itself. And they have the habit to cattle rearing also, cattle, sheep, goats they maintain, and the fish also in their food habit. And next one, trade and exchange. Trade was an important economic activity of the Macedonian society. Traders assisted in the exchanging of goods produced by the potters and the artisans. So first that particular exchanging of the goods that was made by potters and artisans, then it was the practice was given to used in the food exchanging also. The traded with the Syria and the Asia Minor in the west, and in Iran and Indus Valley civilization in the east especially. So in these areas all they done the what is it, trade. That's trade means what, business. They traveled in the ships across the seas for a trade. The temples acted banks and lent credit on their own account. The Macedonian accounts have references to loan and repayment with or without interest. Perhaps this is the first written evidence for charging the interest on the borrowed money. So on the day itself they are all providing the loan for the people for doing the agriculture or for doing the business, whatever it may be. For that most of the evidence is there in the Macedonian civilization. Okay. So they across the river for doing the trade. In maximum of the Asia Minor in the west and Iran and the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, cities and town planning. Macedonian civilization cities feature mud or backed brick walls with gates. Some people lived in a reed huts. So what is it? Macedonian cities featured mud or backed brick walls. Normal brick is there no nowadays. That only. Okay, with the gates especially. Some of the people lived in a reed huts. Reed huts means nothing. We have the jute, no. By the jute they will make us a hut actually. So that all will be outside the city. Inside the city means the house or maybe a building built by backed brick actually. But outside the city, reed huts. The ziggurats were at the city center. Already we read. What is a ziggurat? It's a temple. Okay. It will be in city center on a platform and appeared like a steep pyramids. Steep pyramids means what? Horizontal pyramids will be there. Okay, at center on a platform. What is that? Temple will be there. At center will be the god. No, the same concept here also, with this staircases leading to the top. So at the top you want to do means we need a steps actually. That will be called as a staircases. With that it's there. Around the temple were complex of the ceremonial courtyards, shrines, burial chambers of the priest and the priestesses, ceremonial banquet hall. So what are all the things available in nowadays in our temple? For example, any biggest temple if you went means all around the temple we have the shops, and we have the separate hall for making what is it, conducting any functions or something, and what is it, banquet hall. Banquet hall means providing free foods in the temples. For that separate halls is there. So that one. So like that number of what are the things available nowadays, at all was available and in the Macedonian cities. Okay, workshops is there, granaries is there. Granaries means what? Which is the place storing the food grains. That will be granary. Storehouses, all the product, and the administrative buildings. Okay, so normal. What are all the things we have nowadays? The same they followed in the Macedonian civilization before 4,000, 5,000 years back. Then religion. The Sumerian religion was a polytheistic. They worshipped several gods and goddesses. Okay, several gods. They have a habit to pray the god. Several god is there, and goddesses also. Okay, like us. Sumerians prayed a Enlil, the god of sky and the wind. So Enlil is a god of sky and the wind. The city of Nippur was the center of Enlil. So which city is a god for Enlil means Nippur. Okay, Ninil was the Sumerian goddesses of the grain. Ninil is one of the god name. It's a god for Sumerians, especially for grain. Nowadays we have no separate god for everything. Okay, the same. For wind one god, for rain one god we have. So the Babylonians worshipped Marduk, and Ashur was supreme god of the Assyrians. Ishtar was a goddess of love and fertility. Okay, and Tiamat the god, the sea and the Chahas, unseen, the moon, the unseen, the moon god. So the moon god means which one? Sin. So for everything, separate god is there. It's followed by the Sumerians. Maybe all Akkadian, Assyrians, Babylonians also. The kings were seen as representatives of the gods on the earth. So what is that? Already you read in 7th standard, I think so. The kings will be represented for the gods. They will tell we are all the representative of the god of the earth. They are all the mediator between the god and the humans. So that's a concept here also. The kings were seen representative of the gods on the earth. The Mesopotamians developed a rich collection of the myths and the legends. The most famous of this epic of Gilgamesh, which is written in the cuneiform text, it contains a legend of the flood, has similarities with the account of Noah's ark mentioned in the Bible and other myths in the Hindu Puranas. Okay, so most of the information we are getting from the Bibles and somehow the Hindu Puranas also. We have the data about these religions, these details of the Mesopotamian civilization. Okay, and Hammurabi law code. Already we read Hammurabi is a great king. He was very familiar for the making law. So for that, here some of the evidence is there. The Hammurabi code is an important legal document that specifies the laws related to the various crimes. But different crimes, he created different laws. It has how many laws means? It has 282 provisions specifying cases related to the family rights, trade, slavery, taxes, wages. For this all, for family rights, for trade, doing business, for slavery, taxes and wages, for everything, he made a law. Totally how much means? 282. So it is carved on the stone. Okay, now we have the separate. Nowadays we have the paper system is there. We are whichever maybe we will get from that. But on the days, they only way they want to make us make inscript on the stone. So that made it actually which pottery Hammurabi as receiving the code from the sun god Shamash. Okay. Then it was a completion of the old laws based on the retributive principles, an eye for an eye and a tooth for the tooth, form of justice in used in a Hammurabi code. So they based on which one they prepared the law means what is that? An eye for an eye. Yeah, one of the person injured your eye means for that what's what is that? Judgment means for that person also who done that, no, for that person also we want to injure the eye. That's the thing. If one person broken the tooth means the same we want to break on the tooth for them. So that's the thing. Okay, based on these only the laws are created in the Hammurabi code. Okay, then cuneiform system, it's one of the writing system. Cuneiform is a Sumerian writing system, the shape of letter in the form of wedge, and hence it's called a cuneiform. Wedge means is nothing it will be one of the shape, maximum it will be in wood or maybe sometimes in iron, but wood shape wedge means we will use for the stopping the doors, especially doors, windows. We will keep at the edge actually. For what is that? To stop the closing of the windows, to stop the closing of the doors, we will keep at the edge, no, at the corner of the door. That will be wedge actually. In that shape only the letters will be there. Which letters means cuneiform. Evolving around the 3000 BC, before the writing system was developed actually. It is one of the earliest script of the world. So earliest script of the one of the earliest script is maybe some other also is there, but in that cuneiform also very earliest script. They used this script for commercial transaction and writing letters and stories. The clay tablets contain the loads of the information on the Sumerian civilization. How the Hammurabi code they encrypted. The same here they use the clay soil. They will make one clay table. On that clay table, when it was wet, only we can write, no. So it will, the clay will be wet, make wet, and on that they will write this what is that, so whatever it may be. Maybe the Hammurabi code also will be written in the Cumbrian cuneiform writing system. Okay, and it was developed by Sumerians. And art, Mesopotamian art included sculptures, stone and clay. So they made a what is that, art by using stone and clay. And some of the paintings also is there. A few paintings and the sculptures where the Mesopotamian time have survived today. Mesopotamian, nowadays we have the evidence we are getting. The Mesopotamian sculptures portray animals such as the goats, rams, bulls and lions. So what are the images we can see means some of the bulls, goats, rams, and some of the mythological figures. Mythological figures means what? Some of the histories we have, no, based on that figures is there. By that we will understand some of things about the olden days. Mythological figures like lions and bulls with a human head have also been found in their art. Actually, human head, body will be the animal, or body will be the human, and head will be the animal, which is available in our Mahabalipuram also. Okay, the massive sculptures are created at the time Assyrian and Babylonian empires. Okay, then development of the script. Actually, development of the script is an important milestone of the human history. Is it? No, without writing we can't do anything nowadays. Writing evidence is very important for everything maximum. Okay, so that's a very important milestone for the human history. Writing system began to emerge in Sumeria in the latter part of the 4th millennium. Hieroglyphic, the Egyptian system of the writing, developed in the early 3rd millennium. The Harappans also had a system for writing around the same time, but it has not yet been disappeared. Disappeared means what we can't understand. The Chinese civilization to develop a writing system from a very early period. So cuneiform is one of the method in very early script, and here also one of the early script is there. What is that? Hieroglyphic, developed by Egyptian. Okay, next one. So we have some of the information about science and technology in the Egyptian, no, the same in the Mesopotamians also. In Egyptian they developed a calendar. Okay, the same here also. Here also they developed something. Let me see. The Mesopotamians excelled in the mathematics, astronomy and medicine. They developed the concept of multiplication, division and the cubic equation. Who? Mesopotamians. The numerical system called the based on the 60 was conceived by them. Numerical system based on 60 was conceived by them. They were once of the formulate the 60-minute hour at the 24-hour day and 360-degree circle. The Sumerian calendar had 7 days in a week. The numerical system had place values. The what is that? They got a numbers up to 60. Okay, and they got the timing 60 minutes, 24-day, 360-degree circle. These all they developed actually. The Sumerian calendar had a 7 days in a week. How like today. The numerical system had a place values. They created a water clock and a lunar calendar based on the movement of the moon actually. So based on the movement of the moon, they will calculate the time. They developed the methods of measuring the areas and solids. They also developed advanced weight and measurement system. Maximum what all we have, they developed on the day itself in Mesopotamian civilization. The introduction of the 12-month calendar system based on the lunar months. So lunar months means what? Calculating the time based on moon. So based on that they calculated the 12-month calendar that will be called as a lunar month. Their ideas influenced Greek astronomy. This idea was introduced by the help of Greek astronomy. They had developed a medicinal system as well. Some of the hints for the medicines also. That text will be called as a diagnostic handbook. Diagnostic handbook dated to the 11th century. It belongs to 11th century BC. Diagnostic handbook. Babylonian listed symptoms and prognosis. What are the symptoms for one of the disease, and before itself what are the things we want to do. Everything will be in that handbook. They indicates their scientific understanding of the herbs and the minerals. Maximum they will use herbs and minerals. Nowadays we have different chemicals, so we are going with English medicine. But on the days, what all they are getting normally, naturally, based on that only they will use for the medicine. So like that, herbs and the minerals. So Finally, what are the contributions for the Mesopotamian civilization means? What should all be seen? That what is that? Shortly we will see here. Invention of the pottery's wheel is credited to Sumerians. Very important message, pa. So you read in 6th standard, I think so. Wheels are developed. What is it? Find the same. It was what is that? First time by using that wheel, pot was prepared. That credit will be goes for Sumerians. They developed the calendar system 360 days and divided the circle into the 360 units. The cuneiform system of the writing was their contribution. The Hammurabi code was another legacy of the Mesopotamians. So these are 4 important points. 2 mark also chance to give the contributions about contributions of Mesopotamian civilization. These 4 points we want, right? Egyptian civilization contributions also is there. So that's all 2 mark. Okay. So that's it about Mesopotamian civilization. Remaining Chinese and Indus civilization we'll try to finish in next class. So now up to this is we will wind up. So understand the video, hear it properly. Okay, everything it's easy only. Just once if you read means you'll understand easily. Okay, so understand properly, see the video properly up to the end without skip. I will send the PDF pages also. By helping that, the use of that, you can do your homeworks. I will send the questions also. Okay, so present it properly, send your homeworks on time. Okay, thank you students. Stay home, stay safe.